Hello, I'm Steve Guilford, the founder and CEO of AsterionDB. I'm going to introduce you to the most powerful software platform available, the AsterionDB Converged Computing Platform. This video will show you how to install AsterionDB using an Oracle Always Free Autonomous Database, Compute Node, and Load Balancer. Let's get started. The first thing we're going to do is create an autonomous database. You can use either a warehouse or an online transaction processing database. We have a discussion on our frequently asked questions page on our website that goes into the distinction between which one you would choose in a production environment. But for now, you can choose either one. Coming down here, we can configure the database to the specific number of OCPUs we want and the amount of storage we need. But given that this is just a demo, we'll use the always free option. While the database is being created, we'll open up the Oracle Cloud Shell and download a helper script that will assist us in setting up the installation. Here is the command you will use to download the helper script. It's a simple Docker command. Type /helper.sh to run the helper script. This script helps us set up the AsterionDB compute node. The first thing it does is ask us for a database OCID so that it can download the wallet. Let's copy the OCID. After downloading the wallet, the script will display your public SSH key so that you can use it when you create the AsterionDB compute node. Let's create the AsterionDB compute node now. Be sure to copy your public SSH key into your paste buffer. To create the AsterionDB compute node, we'll go to the Cloud Marketplace and pull up the AsterionDB listing. The quickest way to find it is to choose AsterionDB in the Publisher pull-down. Press the Launch Instance button to start the creation process. Once the screen changes, you can navigate down to the Select Shape button and choose the Specialty Shapes in order to select the always free compute node. Here you can see that the wizard is going to create our virtual cloud network. If you're going to use a pre-existing virtual cloud network, make sure the subnet is a regional subnet. That's the only type of subnet that we support with this load balancer. Finally, you'll paste your public SSH key, and then you'll press the Create button. Coming back to our helper script, you can see it's telling us to wait until the public IP address for the compute node is available. Let's copy the public IP address and then press Enter so that the helper script will continue. We're going to paste the public IP address and then press Enter. You'll see that the script is telling us to wait until the compute instance turns green, and then for a few minutes longer so that the startup process can complete. The script will fail if you press Enter too soon. If that happens, just rerun the script and copy the OCID and the IP address. You don't need to recreate the database or the compute node. Let's take a look at the instructions that the script provides. The important thing we want is the SSH command that we're going to use to connect to the compute node. Let's copy-paste the command and connect to the compute node. Once we get connected to the compute node, we're going to sudo bash and then install the OCI command line interface. With the CLI installed, we can run OCI setup config to set up the configuration file. Remember to exit out of sudo bash first though. We're going to need our user OCID, so let's go get it. And we need our tenancy OCID. That's located over here in the governance section. We have to specify the proper region. Make sure you choose the right one. As Oracle adds new regions, the numbers change. Let's accept the defaults for the rest of these prompts. Now that we have an API key, we need to register it with the OCI. Let's type out the public key. We'll copy it to our paste buffer, and then we'll come back to our user details and register the API key with the OCI. I like to use this command to make sure that the OCI command line interface is working correctly. OCI IAM compartment list. Excellent. Looks like we're hooked up. Now it's time to create the load balancer. To do that, we're going to change directories to the Asterion Oracle admin setup load balancer directory and run the setup load balancer.sh script. This script will tell us what we need. We're going to start with the production certificate, enter in our domain name, an email address to register with Let's Encrypt, and our compartment OCID that the load balancer will be in. So let's come back over here to our compartments, grab the OCID, paste it, copy it, and we need the VCN subnet OCID for the load balancer. Remember, this is the subnet. So we go into the VCN, down into the subnet, and copy the OCID, paste it, and we're going to choose number 2, the always free load balancer. What's going to happen next is we're going to get an IP address that we're going to register with our DNS name provider. So you're going to have to register that public IP address. Press enter, and the installation process is going to continue. I've sped things up here, but the process generally takes about 5 minutes. Almost done. Here we are, finished. So we're going to come over here and type in our domain name and check and make sure that we get our web page. This is the pre-installation page for AsterionDB. Let's make sure that the HTTP 80 redirect is in place. There we are. HTTPS. Okay, so now we're going to update the configuration settings for AsterionDB and install AsterionDB. So let's drop down a directory and type update config.sh. As you can see, we're accepting most of the default values. You only have to enter your DBA password, your domain name, and the password for your AsterionDB user account. You can also change the user account name if you want to your name. Please take note that your passwords are stored in an installation settings file called installsettings.sh. In a production environment, you'd certainly want to dispose of this file after a successful installation. Finally, type /applyconfig.sh and your install settings will be applied and AsterionDB will be installed into the database. And the services will be started. Excellent. We have a running system. Let's go take a look at our web page and access the AsterionDB installation. Refresh. Here comes our web app. Log in. There we are. Navigate to the Upload tab. Upload some content. Here, I'm going to upload some pictures. There we go. And we'll upload some more. I've got some PDFs over here. There we go. And press this button. We can select all the objects. Right click, slideshow. Let's just double check everything. 2 PDFs, our images. Here we go. Well, there you have it. Tell everybody how awesome AsterionDB is. In just a few minutes, you have a fully production system ready to go that can manage any type of unstructured data securely, all within the efficiency of the Oracle database. Thanks for watching. Have a good day.